Hey folks, welcome to Deer Corner. Working on my heaters for my stands. This one's about 10 years old. O-rings are getting a little cracked up in it, so I'm replacing them. So I have a heater, not a Roman candle. Getting them all ready to go. Yeah, 90 degrees outside and I'm working on heaters. But that's not one I want to bring up to you. How many of you really understand deer language, body language? You know, deer, they have a different personality just like you and I do. But their body language is all the same. Just like you and I driving down the road, we reach out and wave at somebody, they turn around and wave back. They know the body language, know what it means. And deer have the same body language. And understanding that could make you a better hunter. Now, some of you know it, some of you may not. But let me just go ahead and bring you to a doe. Now, if you noticed, this doe comes out relaxed, her ears are relaxed, she's calm, she's looking, getting ready to come out into the shooting lane, and she gives one simple little flag of her tail and stays calm. Now the deer coming behind her don't even look, but she's taking it the coast is clear and just walks on out. If that doe come out and it's during the rut, and that doe showed up with that type of body language, if she came out in that 10, it's about 10 foot wide open shooting area, nice and calm, one little wag of the tail, she came on out slowly, easily, and walked on down the trail. Now if a buck was behind her during the rut, he's already got, it's an okay, it's a clear sign I'm coming out. Your mature bucks now, they may poke their head out and then jump that 10-foot area into the thicket next to it, or they may just come out like she did and gradually walk on down. So during the rut, when you see a doe with that kind of body language, that's when you need to be ready. You don't need to be looking at that doe. You need to know the body language, and when she comes out acting like that, with that type of body language, you should be ready to pull the trigger. Because that buck can come up right behind her, come on right on out. Now I got another doe, another circumstance, and let me show her. Now as we were standing at the back of the truck under the stand, working on that stand, out comes this doe. And she knows something's different. She's working them ears, and she's looking, but she don't quite know what's different. But if you notice her tail's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And as you can see, she's by herself. She's about 45, 50 yards into the open here in this 11 acres. And right there was a dead giveaway that she's not by herself. You can tell where she's turning and looking behind her. But it's the simple little flips, like there, looking behind her. And there are several does on the back side of the fence that didn't come out yet. But they're sitting there watching her reactions. Now, if this was during the rut, that could very well be a buck back there hung up. He won't come out because of her reactions. But she turns around and walks back to the fence line. She don't flag, but if you notice, she'll stop and give one simple flip of the tail. Coast is clear. Now this doe had totally different body language. Totally different. Like I said, that's 11-acre pasture. We have the stand on a fence row. And we were working on that stand. When that doe come out, she knew something was wrong. But her body language told me that there's other deer. There's other deer behind her. Now how do you know? How do you know where to look? Just like pointing your finger. When them does or them deer do the quick flip, 3 flip of a tail, it'll flip it 3 quick times. Walk on, flip it 3 quick times. Their heads are up and their ears are active. And when they turn that head and look back, like she did, that nose on that doe pointed out where she come from and where the other deer are. And there again, if it was during a rut, that doe come out in that open, turn around right behind her like I did with the camera, I would with my scope, and I'd start looking the area very hard where she came out of. And that doe that was standing there with her head up could have very well been a buck. But that buck was hung up. He was not going to come out, just like them does. The does that hung up there, they didn't come out. They knew something was up by the actions of that doe. So, body language. You got to know some body language. Now, does and bucks, same body language. Let me show you this. Now, this first young buck come out. Notice the tail, he's relaxed. One simple little flip. Coast is clear. Here comes another buck. Relaxed and walking out. But the thing about it, behind him comes an older, mature buck. Now look at his tail. Simple flips. That first buck come out. His ears were active, and he was searching for anything that's going to give him any trouble. But the thing about it was, he gave that one slow little flicker of a tail, took a couple steps, and one flicker of a tail, not 2, 3, 4, just one little swipe, and came out and went across. And them 2 other bucks come right up behind him. The coast is clear. And they came across. Now they didn't show any body language, they didn't flick any tails, but they knew it was clear. They came on across, relaxed, ears were relaxed, and it just goes to show you that the doe and the bucks have the same body language. And that's just like hunting the rut. Now, you can be out hunting the rut, and you notice a young buck. He's following a doe. And that young buck, his tail's twitching. He's behind the doe, and his tail keeps twitching. Walking, twitching, walking, twitching. That's when you better start looking behind him for the larger, mature buck. This has happened to me many a times. Many a times. What an older, mature buck will do, he will let the younger bucks run down the does and tire the does down to where they're ready to breed. And then that older buck will move in and push the younger buck out of the way and then breed that doe. He will use the younger bucks as a tool. So you will very seldom see 2 bucks together, and an older buck and a younger buck. And that older buck's using that younger buck as a tool. So Thanks for coming along. Like I say, subscribe, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. And remember, when you're in the woods, be safe. You'd rather be safe than sorry. Things do happen. And I'll see you again.